Started recording. The terminologies are like that, guys, so we can't do it, so compulsory we should go through it. Okay, so what is operating system? Kernel, shell. Okay, so different type of very important is what is operating system, what is kernel, what is shell, what kernel will do, what shell will do. Okay, and next one is Linux distributions, and Windows and Linux distributions. Okay, so again I'm writing here those things. What is operating system, what is kernel and shell. Okay, sometimes they ask a questions, operating system, architecture. So what is architecture? Nothing but a kernel and shell. Kernel interacts with the hardware, shell interacts with the user. Very simple. Okay, so remaining just here. So we are using bash shell. What shell we are using? Bash shell. Okay, so next latest version means Linux kernel version. Linux kernel version, latest version is 5.17.2. Okay, so that is the latest kernel version. What kernel will do? Process management, disk management, like hardware related thing. If you don't remember everything, no problem. Just disk management, hardware management, process management, memory management, like that. Okay, device management. So these are all kernel. Shell interacts with user, like when you are typing a command. So then shell will give you that environments. Okay, so what is CLI, GUI, TUI, those kind of stuff. Next one is Linux distributions. Linux distributions are very important. Okay, so Linux distributions are important. Okay, so like what is the Linux distributions? Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Oracle Enterprise Linux, Fedora, CentOS, Debian, Ubuntu. Okay, Linux Mint, like that. So many distributions are there. So Scientific Linux, like the Linux distributions. Next important question is Linux and Unix differences. It's very rare, but so come up with some Linux and Unix differences. Next, very important question is Linux and Windows differences. Okay, so this is also very important question. So that's the thing. Okay, so basically Linux and Windows is very easy. Yeah, that's the point I missed here. I will add it. I'll add in the middle. So Linux is less hardware footprint, means less hardware. It utilizes very less hardware, more hardware requirement. Compared to Linux, means utilize less hardware resources. Is utilize more hardware resources. This is the point I missed earlier. Same thing goes with the Linux and Windows differences. So Linux is basically CLI, like you use pure CLI, then very less hardware footprint. Okay, so Windows is utilize more resources because it's Windows is basically GUI. Okay, next Linux is a open source. Anybody can take the Linux and develop and redistribute it. Windows is not a open source and not a free operating system. So you cannot take the Windows and rebuild the Windows operating system as your own, and redistribution is illegal. Why? Because Windows operating system belongs to Microsoft organization. Linux is not belongs to any organizations. Even you don't take a license from the US or what. No need to take license, any specific license keys. Okay, license keys, paid license, not required. Okay, license keys, they are not required. Must have a license. Must have a license to Microsoft related things. Multi-user multitasking support, single user multitasking support. Okay, and Linux is case sensitive. Windows is not a case sensitive. Case sensitive means cap letters, small letters are different. Not much user friendly, little hard, but it is user friendly. Need a professionals means you need an experienced person, people who learn and experience person to work on the Linux operating system. Otherwise, if any problem is occur, it's very difficult to fix it. Windows is anybody can easily learn Windows operating system and get use it. Windows servers and extensions. Okay, so Linux is basically CLI based OS, powerful CLI, and this is a powerful GUI. So with a maximum we manage with a GUI model. Okay, so then of course remote access, like you have a Linux machine, you want to access through network, you use SSH basically protocol. Here in a Windows, we use RDP protocol. Linux maximum we use for a server purpose only, not for a desktop purpose. Of course, Ubuntu desktop is there, that is desktop operating system. Linux Mint is a desktop operating system, but not maximum. Every Linux distribution is not a desktop operating system. Most of the Linux distributions are server based only. Okay. Of course, Windows we have desktop versions and server versions. Separate versions are there. Okay. So again, that is another point you have to tell here. It is. So that is Ubuntu desktop and server versions are there. Okay. So that's we have to do it, and also Linux Mint. Desktop version is there. So desktop version. So some are desktop version, some are not there. Okay. The Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is for a ethical hacking purpose, not for a general purpose, not a general Linux purpose. Kali Linux or Backtrack Linux is basically for ethical hacking purpose only. Ethical hacking. Ethical hacking purpose, not for a non-ethical hacking also. Why? Because of the real hackers don't use any kind of publicly distributed applications or operating systems. Okay. Of course, in a security wise, both are secure. So in a Linux, we have to secure the Linux using our own techniques, like by using programming. But Windows is by default secure. By default, it is secure. So you don't need to do any security because you can't alter anything. So some people will get a doubt that is, sir, Linux is secure or Windows is secure? It's always a big question. We can't give an answer for that one, guys. In my heart wise, I can't give an answer for a which is more secure. As I know, as my personally I'm telling, Windows is by default it is secure. Like you got a Windows server. Okay, I give a Windows server. You have Windows server, right? So can you able to reset the admin password? In Windows, both the desktop version and server version. Not much easy. Not much easy. Windows also having textbooks, right? So Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows Server textbooks also there. The textbooks also don't tell. Maybe you can use some hacking techniques like a certain Hirana boot CD kind of stuff. You can able to reset it. Okay, so physically if you are able to access it, but in a Linux, you can able to reset root password. Root is an administrator in the Linux. Yeah, that is. Will that add that one also? Root user is admin. Administrator or first user by default is admin. User by default it is administrator. Okay, root user is a admin. Okay, so differences I'm keep adding again. I will have to post that one. Okay, you can reset root password of Linux also. Okay, but that is not a question. That's why I separatedly. You can reset root password of admin is there. So how it is secure? Open sources are basically not secure. You have to create your own security. You have to create your own security. So that's the point in Linux. Next in a Linux, actually, yeah, file system hierarchy. You can use hierarchy. I use like this. Linux file system. This is the spelling. Hierarchy. So what is this hierarchy, guys? So look at here. This is also very important question. Again, I'm telling. Okay. Slash represent. One second. So I will go to the CMD. Look at this slash symbol. This slash symbol in Windows represent. It is a directory. Okay. And if you go to this 1, 2, and finally last slash, we have a C drive, D drive kind of stuff, but it is the starting slash represent root here. In Linux, it is reverse. This like this. Okay, like this. What I'm trying to do is, okay. So whatsoever it is called a root directory. One second. So why am unable to type this one? Okay, the slash represent root directory. There is a little confusion also there. Don't worry. Root directory means, for example, you have a C drive. C drive contains several files. C drive contains several files. Look at here the C drive. Okay. C drive contain several folders and files are there, right? So the C drive here in this one, it is a slash. So do not think it is drives and all kind of stuff. So your operating system, it means your entire system represented in the root. It means entire Linux system in root directory only. So everything is starts with a slash only. So under slash, there is a directory called a boot. Guys, directory or a folder, both are same. Directory and folder, both are same. Slash boot contains bootable files. So your bootable file stores in a slash boot. Okay. Slash root. Root is a admin user. Root is a administrator. Okay. Is also user, right? So administrator actually is a admin. Highly privileged user. So root users home directory. Meaning is, for example, I'm creating a data on my desktop where the data is stored under my user's home. Okay, like that. So you log in with the root user and you created some files. By default, it stores under slash root directory. Okay. Next, slash etc configuration files stores the slash etc. Configuration file stores in slash etc. Slash bin slash has been. User commands stores here. Admin commands. What is user commands? Admin commands. For example, I go to CMD and I type a command. So I type a command like echo hello. So I type a command. So maybe I will type dir. It will show very big one. So don't go with that one. Okay. I type something like very easy task list, process list, like that. So if I put a command, so these are the basic user commands. Okay. So admin commands means only administrator means root user can able to run. Only root user can able to run the commands. That command stores in this folder. Separate Linux is having a big file architecture. It is. USR means stores called means your applications, stores applications and documents related to applications. Okay, it's like program files. Okay, so in your C drive program files, then it is like that only. Okay, so that is one. Where contains dynamic data. Dynamic data stores, for example, logs or a www, FTP, like this. Dynamic data means like a website data or a FTP related data or logs related data stores in a that where only. Okay. Next dash home. Normal users, standard users are there. Means root user is admin user. Remaining all are standard users only. Standard users home directory. So it is like this. For example, I have a user. Okay, so username is Priya. Okay, so user is Priya. Priya's home directory is like this /home/ Priya by default. Okay, for example, I have a user. I am Mohan. Mohan's home directory is. Okay, so this is a /home is a standard user's home directory or a user's home directory. You can remove the users also. User's home directory is a standard user's home directory. So if you create a user, the user's home directory by default is like that. Means the user's files by default stores in this location. For example, I want to save this file. By default, it stores under my documents, right? So by default, it shows documents. Same thing it stores in this one. Last temp. Temporary file stores. Okay. Exist up to 30 days from last access or modify. For example, I created a file now and I didn't touch anything for next 30 days. It means now it is 11th April, maybe on a 11th May or a 12th May, data will be deleted automatically. Okay, exist up to 30 days from last access or last modify, means usually last modification. Okay, -mnt temporary mount. There are several things are there. Even I am unable to recollect. /root /boot /root /boot /root /etc /bin /sbin /usr /var /home /temp /mnt. Okay, so I have to go to Linux and see other things. Otherwise, file system hierarchy. Yeah, very good. Of course, I have a picture for that one. So these are all the things. You can see bin /root is a main directory. Under slash only, we have all the folders. Bin, yeah, boot, dev I'm missing. So etc, home, lib, media, mnt, otp, sbin, srv, okay, temp, usr, proc. So I will add only two. That is, one is a very important one is dev. Okay, your device related files are there, like a disk, your hard disk files, cd-rom file. File means disk file is there, hard disk file. Example /dev sd, yeah, like this. This is a partition example, just for example. There's a lot of things are there. cd-rom. Okay, like any device, like proc, here a program related things like a and under proc you'll get a CPU for info or a proc mem info. These kind of files are there, like a process related, memory related, kernel related kind of stuff, processor related. Okay, memory related means how much RAM you have, total RAM you have, like that. So it will be shows. And other things are there like libo, TP and all. So there are a lot of things are there, not only that one. So media is there, run is there. Okay, so other things also, right? Media, run, lib. Okay, opt. So these are other few more files are there. So this is the file system hierarchy. Next, very important after these things, next important one is file system hierarchy. Okay, of course there is a picture to show that one also there. Okay, I will forward that picture to you directly. Okay, so I usually I will draw the pictures like this. I will put a draw the picture. So don't worry, I will forward the picture only. Okay, so I will try to forward the picture. So I will search it. I will send it to you. Guys, understand or not at all understand? Look at here. What is this folder contains? What is this folder contain in Windows? Anyone? What is this folder content in Windows? What happened? Tell me, guys. You don't understand Linux, no problem. But you should know the Windows, right? Okay, it contains the programs, your applications. Whenever you install an application, application file stores under programs and program files x86. Program files and program files x86 in Windows 64-bit. This is 32-bit based application. This is 64-bit applications. Windows folder, your original operating system, loading application running, okay, system 32, okay, all these things, your registries, group policies, okay, all are stores in the Windows folder only. Means main operating system stores Windows only. Users, your users having user profile data. So if you have a multiple users, already I showed in our Windows 10 practical, multiple users. So users profile data stores under users folder. This is my user. If I have a 4-5 users, 4-5 users folders will show here. Okay. Next, yeah, of course, temporary. So data whenever you installing something or you are working on something, that temporary files will be stored, right? So like that, how the folders in your Windows operating system, same way in a Linux also we have a several folders are there. Okay, so each folder is like a bootable file stores in /boot. Okay, root file stores in a root users home directory is /root /etc configuration files /bin for user commands /sbin for admin commands /us store applications and data. Okay, so that where is stores dynamic data. Okay, and use home directory /home is for a users home directories. Okay, so if you create a user, the user's home directory creates like this. Temporary files stores in /temp. Device related files stores in /dev. So these are the main important file system hierarchy. Next, I am going to show you how to install a Linux, download and install a CentOS. Before going to that one, so what is this CentOS? Red Hat is basically you should work with your Red Hat operating system. So Red Hat Enterprise Linux is widely used operating system. Widely used operating system. The short form of this one is RHEL. RHEL. Okay. So latest version is 9, I think so. Okay, because 9 is completely released or not, we don't know. So there are several Red Hat Enterprise Linux are there. 6 is there, 5 is there, 7 is there, 8 is 9 is also there. Okay, so whatever it is, it's a enterprise Linux. Red Hat is an organization build Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Currently it is under Oracle organization. Okay, currently it is under Oracle organization. Now, what is this Red Hat? Widely used enterprise Linux in the all over the world. In the all over the world, it is widely used. Widely used operating system for a server purpose. Okay. Next one is commands are may little bit difference between different type of operating system because based on the shell. Okay, but all enterprise Linux the commands are same always. Okay. Yes, it's right. What are the things? So there are several packages are available. So then you can install and run with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Use RHEL 6, RHEL 7 also for our practice. And if you want RHEL 8 is another distribution. RHEL 9 is there or not, you have to verify whether it is there or not. Okay. To download and install, so you have to go to Red Hat website kind of stuff. So first of all, RHEL 7 OS download. So you can go to directly redhat.com or Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Second one is showing. So look at here. So then you can find a download button. So this is showing a 8.6 beta version. So 8 version. So I don't want 8 version. Okay, so 8 version directly you can able to download, but I need a so it's a 9 version. 9 also beta only. Okay, so last version is 8.5 is a stable version and download is 10 GB. Of course, boot CD is showing like that, but it is around 10 GB it is showing. I don't want to download any 10 GB things. So don't worry, I'm not downloading anything. Okay, so you can just see the versions. And under 7.9 is a latest version. So 4.22 GB. Okay, release date is August 11, 2020. Okay, the beta versions works in different ways, so then no need to use the beta version. You can use full version of 8.5 if you want it. Okay, you want to try yourself, then also you can able to do it. So this is a 7.9 version. So I'm very familiar with the 7 and a 6. Okay, not with 8. So usually 8 is out of our syllabus also. And of course, you have to subscribe with your organization email ID. Okay. So what I want to do is just I am going to here. So this is important. Next, you need to subscribe to download okay. For downloading and supporting. There is no actually no support at all. No direct support it is, but actual support is no. But thing is like subscribe is there for downloading installation after installation subscribe is important. And next repositories. Want a repositories means you want to install a packages, download and install a packages from Red Hat. So compulsory, you have to subscribe it. So that is the point in the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So if you see 9 point is also released, but 8.5 is a stable. Remaining are beta versions. 9 is also itself, it is a beta version. Okay. 7 is working. So 7 latest version is 7.9. So these are the things about a Red Hat. Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, it is a very good operating system, widely used operating system. You must know what is the Red Hat Enterprise Linux. You need to subscribe to download and activate it. So you need a company email ID, not personal email ID. So company email ID to subscribe. Okay, to subscribe it, you need a company email ID. So generally you can't able to do it. That's the earlier condition. Now from so many years, almost like 4 or 5 years, I am not touching this Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I have a 7 old version is there. Okay, so that's okay, but I don't use it here. So this is a small introduction about a Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So there is several things also there. So here I write and download and install CentOS. What is this CentOS? CentOS is like Enterprise Linux, like a Red Hat Enterprise Linux only. It's like that one only. Both are similar. But one thing is, no need to subscribe, to download, install, and for a repositories also. Okay. By default, CentOS has built-in repo files, so you don't understand what is repository, no problem. Okay, so not at all a problem. Okay? There is a line is there, just I'm telling that line. Okay, later you will understand. So now you don't understand, that is guarantee. Okay, so you can install applications, services and packages easily. I put a easy, so whatever it is. Okay, that's it about your CentOS. Next one is download and install CentOS. Before going to that one, just I want to give you a break first. So just 1 or 2 minutes only, because no one is speaking. I don't know.